I'm with Margate manager Ben Greenhalgh after his side's 3-2 home defeat to Eastbourne Town. Ben, how would you reflect on the 90 minutes?
Incredibly disappointed. And I'll look at it from a player's perspective first before a management perspective. We started the game well, we moved the ball well, we've gone and won a penalty, we've scored the penalty, and it's our game to control. And then the first goal was just beyond embarrassing. We've cleared the ball 5 times and then missed clearances, and then they've got 3 men spare at the back post, which was being screamed at for all 5 occasions that they lobbed the ball back in. And the lack of desire to defend, or the lack of desire to mark a player, very poor. And then the second goal, not sure what's happened with our line, but they just play straight through from a quick free kick. And you look at those 2 goals, I said at half time, we never get goals, and I've said this before, and look, this is probably where as a management perspective we can take criticism, but we are still trying to get the best out of defenders, we're trying to get the best out of new defenders, we're changing things, but in reality people are underperforming, and we've taken them out of the team, we've put them back in the team, and we're still getting an underperforming side of things, and I can't believe how easy the goals are to score. And I've said it to them, and then look, if we discuss the third goal, that is just ridiculous, and I've let my emotions off in there, which I feel was warranted. I've branded it, I think the defending is literally disgusting, and again I'm talking from the emotions of a player out on that pitch, where you feel like you've got yourself back in the game. We've worked a short corner, worked really well, managed to get to the byline, cut it back to Kane, 2-2, 30 minutes to go, 35 minutes to go, and it is only ours for the taking at home. And we know what we've been like this year. I've said to the group, as we've scored that goal, I've said, stay compact for 5 minutes, stay solid, in the manner that we defended after our first goal in the first half. We do not concede a goal. And the worrying thing was, their third goal, I just said to them in there, I can't remember the last time I played a game of football where I've drifted out as a centre forward for someone. That's what they did. Their centre forward drifts out to our right hand side, has loads of time on the ball, comes in nice and easy without doing a skill, not even tackled, not even pressed, rolls the ball in the back of the net. We're playing, and it might be, look, Eastbourne Town have done a job on us, but against them, we're Margate Football Club. I don't get the ball against Eastbourne Town, and they try and tackle me in the box. We don't even try and tackle them, and it is really poor. And when you look at it, they did stay compact. They listened to me. We were 3-on-1 with that third goal, and just the desire was so poor. And look, I've blamed myself in there to them in the end. I said, at the end of the day, this is our recruitment. We backed players this year. We backed players to stay. We had a good year last year. We got a brilliant points ratio after what's been a really tough 2 seasons at Margate Football Club, getting relegated. We managed to bounce back, get 87 points in any other league that might even win a division. And the complacency from everyone this year has been disappointing. And don't get me wrong, I will still back at the end of the season, whatever happens, happens, but I will still back. We've lost a lot of points this season on injuries, but you can't hide away from that now. And players have really let themselves down, but most importantly, at home, to let the fans down in that manner is, like I said, in my opinion, I think it's disgusting. So, look, there's been moments this year where we felt like we might need to change things, and it's hard bringing the right people down during the season. That's proof in any level of football, let alone trying to get them down to step 4, trying to get them to Margate. It's been very hard. You can recruit quite well, a lot easier in the off season, and I felt like we did, but we have been let down, and that's the reality. But do you know, it's not even a case of, for me, is letting me down. That they can do that. They can go and play for other managers and things like that. If they want to play for Margate Football Club and put on performances like that, then they're at the wrong place.
And one of your biggest concerns, obviously, you mentioned like how easy it seemed for Eastbourne to score their goals. It's not just been today though, has it been? It's been consistent now, and having to score 4 or 5 goals to win a game is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure you'll agree with that. How do you stop it?
Oh look, I said to them in there, like that, when we talk about a 10-game unbeaten run, I think people don't realise we weren't brilliant in that. We just attacked well, and there were stages in those games where some attacking players may have killed the defence. It wasn't just always back 4 and things like that. And I backed them last week. I said how well we defended. And look, we were forced into changes today. Obviously, look, Blackie couldn't quite get through a fitness test, and we didn't want to overdo it, because obviously with Blackie's history of things, you don't want to send him out there and it get worse, and then you have too long without him, where he's actually been strong in the last few games where we've had him back. So we had to change a couple of things, and look, the reality was the partnerships clearly weren't there today because people did one thing, people did another, but they've come at each other at half time, which I think is rightfully so, because that shows that desire. But in reality, they need to show that, we all need to show that desire on the pitch a lot more. Like their forward who scored the goal at the end, or even when you look at their left winger who's probably their best player, we've let them have an open goal. And it's just all the information we try and give the boys, everything about them, and then suddenly you think that we're just going to defend like that. What's the point in telling them if we're not even going to defend or follow runners or mark? And it's just, look, that's what we're left to deal with. We take the criticism, and rightfully so, because we put that team out. Hindsight's obviously easy to do when you look at this and know that we were going to defend like that. We should have done something differently, but in reality, you look at that team, there's about 1,200 appearances for Margate Football Club in that team. There's also, on another element, a lot of players who've played step 2, step 3. There's only so much you can coach people. And we've probably focused in the last few weeks about trying to be better at football. And I'm sure there were moments today, but in reality, we got a little bit lost when we conceded such poor goals. We got a little bit lost again. And there's only so much you can ask of people. And in the end, I think we could have done this interview if people cared or had that more desire to stop them from scoring goals and to defend or not let them cut in on their strong foot, we wouldn't be having this conversation, and maybe we'd walk away with 3 points, and then the hard work's on us to go and get the tactical things right. But in all honesty, it felt like today we could have gone and broken again and scored again, and it felt like we were going to get loads of chances to score loads of goals, but we could have conceded. And we talk back to that 10-game unbeaten run, we played against 10-man Erith and let in 3 goals. I think it was hidden by the fact we scored 7. And that's been the story of this season. We have, our attacking numbers are one of the best in the league, and that's not me saying that as an attacking player. I feel like our numbers are good, but in reality, as a whole group, as a whole defence, whether that's from the front, middle or back, we concede the worst goals that I've ever conceded, and in reality, that's our management team has to take criticism of that. Those boys are going out there and playing for either us or Margate, and look, I don't think they're doing the club justice at all.
And just finally, Ben, 14 games now to go in the league. Flan said a couple of weeks ago, just look at it game by game basis. Said to us, basically, stop talking about the playoffs and just look at it game by game. You'd think now mid-table it's looking increasingly difficult. Does your message as manager change to the players now in terms of actually fight for your Margate career rather than actually fight for them playoffs?
Without a doubt, I've said that to them in there. Without a doubt, the way that they perform today is like they don't want to be here, and we will happily change that if we can. And I think this league is so much needed resilience in it, and it is very unforgiving. I think, like when we said we got 87 points last year, that would win most leagues, and in reality we came 4th. And we know, and maybe that's what's creeping into people's minds, and they haven't dealt with it before. We're underachieving. We've had a lot of problems this year. We've had a lot of injuries. We've had a few sort of referee where we've blamed them, but we can't. That's not even the conversation now. Like, the reality now is there's a lot of points to catch, a lot. And it is unrealistic, but the reality needs to be that we need to try and win every game. We should be able to win every game. I still look at, when we talk about the previous 2 games, we've gone from having 50% possession in home games previously and smashing the ball for no reason, and it's never been coached or asked. We needed more bravery. The previous 2 games it's to dominant games. We've gone up to 75% in both games, and so there's a lot of things that have improved, but in reality, I can't coach a player to, when we've told him he's right-footed, to stop him coming in and block the shot, because I know 100% I come against play, and even for the second goal I've had to go down on my right and cut it across because they know I want to come in my left. And if you tell players that and they don't do it, that is the biggest concern really, because they're most importantly letting the people down that are coming to watch this, and everyone's got every right to say their word on that.
That's brilliant. Unlucky this afternoon. Thanks for your time, Ben.
Cheers, Ryan. Thank you.
Cheers.